This is the agriculture that Albany now relies on to rectify my lack of knowledge up Mount Melville. You've gone bigger now. This is the Amity Brig. Tell us about the Amity Brig. You wouldn't know because you didn't listen to my little history story.
What was your story?
It pretty much...
Amityville Horror Show?
No, it transported convicts and men pretty much around Australia, and then it became a transport ship for whale oil and bone to other countries, and then eventually got lost out on the Flinders something,
So
and
you really
it's never
read
been
it.
found, and
You
this
really
is a
read it
replica.
carefully. You read really carefully.
You got the gist. Where have you brought me, darling? Surprise location.
Fish traps from the local indigenous people. So this is how they used to trap fish. And there's a little walk and science expedition. The fish traps are thought to have been in use for several thousand years. The Oyster Bay area was inundated by water when sea levels rose about 6,000 years ago, and when the early colonists came to the area, the fish traps were clearly in use at that time. So they've likely been around for quite a while. The fish trap works by high tide allows fish to swim into the area, and then as the tide drops, there's a wall out there that basically creates a barrier so fish can't swim back out again. Makes it easier to spear them and net them with vines and things like whatever they use. What does it mean, Canberra West?
Look at it.
Flat dirt road.
You wouldn't have to walk upstairs, but I wouldn't be living there.
It's a long way to go down to the mailbox. We'll be back in 3 days. I'll just go check the mailbox.
The reason we've pulled over is because we've found Canberra West. We lived in Canberra for a long period of time.
This seems like a really long way west.
And on we go. We're doing a 4.5 hour drive today.
Big
from
drive.
Albany to just a random spot called Ravensthorpe, is it? That we've chosen to stop at on our way to Esperance. It's very dry. We've got a sign saying there's cockies in the area, but we've been seeing them for days, weeks, even back in Port Macquarie, nothing new. But anyway, on we go.
Fires.
There's fires. Ah, I see what it means. Some regrowth happening, lots of fires through this area. Some places were really fresh black, but the technical names, excuse me, but the little black boy plants were really popping up as first things to regenerate. Xanthorrhoea, sorry.
Grass trees.
Dustin tells me they're also called grass trees.
Yeah, grass trees.
But now I just sound racist.
Pretty much. That is relatively recently done.
Big news. We just saw some cockies, didn't we?
Yeah.
4 cockatoos. Who would have thought?
Lucky that sign was there. I wouldn't have been on the lookout otherwise. This is the Cookanurup Memorial. the first settlers of the area, the Dunn family, the brothers, were abusing local indigenous peoples, especially the women, and eventually they had enough of it and speared one of the brothers. So the Aboriginal person who did that ended up getting locked up, but then the case was dropped against him and he was released, and then all the local settlers got together and went and slaughtered 40 indigenous people in the area, men and women and children. But then there was never any trial or law enforcement. Mallee fowl. Bring on this road trip. She goes to sleep, doesn't even get out of the car. That's so awkward. So awkward. What's this supposed to be? Grain?
Grain, barley, that sort of thing.
You gonna take it from me?
Oh.
I can't drive like this forever.
We've got our first silo art.
Can you just repeat what you just said?
I was busting to toilet and I've been waiting. It's the longest 35 minutes of my life, and 15 minutes in I couldn't do it anymore. And then it's so windy, I tried to cover myself with a towel, because look at this rest stop. It's not a pull-in, it's just exposed. And I've got Dustin looking at me through the rear view thing, laughing at me, and then the wind was blowing and I peed on my own foot. That's all. That's all I got to say on the matter.
Do you need to have a wash?
I wiped myself with paper. My foot, I mean, and the other bits.
Is this a G-rated shirt?